Take that?
No, you can take that one. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it's all the fucking same.
Yeah, a lot better.
Lock device. There we go. Trying to get all organized here. Rotation is lock, rotate device back. Here we go. Here we go. What the hell? Rotation.
What'd you do with the...
We got 20 people live right now.
Excuse me.
If you got any questions regarding real estate or financing, go ahead and ask your questions. Or you guys can call live into studio. I'll give you guys a number here in a second. Call in live studio 702-257-5396. 257-5396. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about Summerlin. So if you're thinking about purchasing a home in Summerlin, now is the time to call. Show starts at 6. We got about 4 more minutes. However, we're going to be taking calls in the next 15 minutes. Dan, is that a new shirt?
Yeah, I just bought it today.
I know, I can tell.
With this hat.
Did you get that from Baby Gap?
I got it from...
Dude, your arms are big, bro.
I went to Ride Now. I
He's
bought
a beast.
chain lube.
Oh, shit, nice. And a new hat.
And a new hat. And this. And I bought like 3 other things for my bike.
This motherfucker look like he's sponsored and shit. Look at that.
That's just came from
He sponsors himself.
I just came from there.
Oh, is
You
that?
know where Ride Now, is that right?
No, where's that? 215 in Decatur?
No, it's...
What's up, guys?
You know where... Boulder Highway?
Got my partner here, Greg.
Yeah.
Some of y'all have talked to him on the phone. Say what's up, Greg.
What's up?
Today's topic, we're going to be talking about Summerlin. If you guys want to call in live studio today, 702-257-5396. 6 minutes? All right, 6 minutes, guys.
Use that on the floor, please. Give me the... There's a...
Dan, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cameras.
What happened to 4?
Trying to get that content.
That's right, man.
Whose is this?
I think it's the house.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, man? Have you handled 1031 exchange before? Yes, all day long we've been doing 1031 exchange. If you guys want to do a 1031 exchange, we can definitely help you out. Give us a call. If you guys want to tune in live, visit 101 100.5 FM or 720 AM. KDON. We are also streaming live on iHeartRadio as well. 3 minutes? Okay. 3 minutes to rock and roll, guys. 3 minutes.
How's that look?
You look ugly.
Nice straight.
A little bit ugly.
Sit down. You got this thing blowing. You don't need this, bro. This is a windscreen.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need this, man. You're not outside. Going live.
Dude, you just really fluffed up, man. What's up with you?
Are
You
you?
working out?
Yeah, I know. This motherfucker been juicing, huh?
A little bit something.
Or his shirt's is too damn small.
Right? No doubt.
Still working out with my arms.
No juice. Oh, yeah? Let me see. Hold on. We got 3 minutes? Hold on. Let me check you out. Oh, man. The beast. Only brothers can do that.
Alright, guys, we're gonna rock and roll. We got 2 minutes, so I'm gonna fire this thing up. Let's see here. Get Danny Boo. Okay. About to fire up all these cameras real quick.
You ready? Daniel.
No.
Okay. Right there.
There's a top I'm missing on this. God damn it.
I think we already got calls coming in. All right, there you go. That's perfect. That's right on you.
Doing the right thing, that's why.
Let that record.
You press that one, Mike? That blade? Make sure it's straight on me. Yeah. Where are you going tonight?
Aria? Got a friend's birthday, taking the wife out for a late Valentine's.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Late Valentine's, huh?
Late Valentine's.
Wonder how much that bill's gonna be.
Right.
$500.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Hey, it's alright.
Double it.
He makes good money.
Double it. Yeah, we went to La Cirque. I had a
Hey.
$500 dinner. I wasn't even drinking.
Anytime she,
Hey, put on your headphones. See what he's saying.
What's that?
oh yeah. Hey, I remember when you said ding dong on Amazon.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, man. At least 5 times a day, man. No joke. She's out of control.
All right, so hey, we already got calls, guys. So again, don't take the calls right away. Give it about like 15 minutes.
What?
Give it a couple minutes before you take the calls. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Then I'll flag you down, so that way I can run the number and also the website too as well.
Okay.
You reference the lead that way, or
Yeah, once the leads come in,
Yeah.
he writes it all down. We get the leads from
take the number, reference it with the site, then
Yeah.
you know what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
That's cool.
1 minute. All right, boys, we rock and rolling.
Let's do it.
All right, I'm recording. Let me jump into this real quick. Oh, sorry, bud. All right, we going live, guys.
Mike, go. This is good. Welcome. This is Dan French here. I'm with LV Home Experts, the show. This is financing and real estate related. I'm in studio today with himself, the one and only.
The one and only.
Chuck, it's Krulsawat from Simply Vegas.
That's
What's going
right.
on, Chuck?
I'm doing good. And we got my man, the co-host.
Mr. Greg Clutters, also on Chuckits' team from Simply Vegas. What's going on, Greg?
What's happening, boys? How we doing today?
Good.
Good, good. So what's going on, guys? Let's talk real estate. Let's talk financing. Let's talk
Summerlin.
Yeah.
Summerlin's
So
good.
today's topic, we're going to be talking about Summerlin and what's going on with Summerlin. But let's start off with this. How was yesterday, Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day was good. You know, surprised my girl with a little gift at home. I don't try to go too crazy.
How crazy? Like $300 crazy?
Well, then they expect it. You know what I mean? You got to go small, and they expect it. And it's like you can't go 500.
Oh.
Maybe you bring it down a little bit.
Oh,
you know?
gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So, really good Valentine's Day. We went out to some sushi. Had some sushi.
Gotcha.
Made a nice little dinner at home. Actually, I took it home, so it was pretty cool. Yeah.
So you bought the sushi and took it home?
Yeah. I love sushi. I went there.
That's
yeah.
a good spot.
It is a good spot. Yeah. And you know what's crazy is I walked in.
Yeah.
That place was jumping.
They're
man.
jamming over there. They're always busy. Yeah.
I was like, "Where's the to go?" They're like, 5 layers over there. Like I couldn't even see it. And
Hey, did you drop the Aloha discount?
I called in. I said to go. He goes, "All right, sir. Hour and a half.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Can you wait?" I said, "Well, it's Valentine's Day. She wants it. I don't really want to sit in a restaurant on Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'll wait." So
What about you, Greg?
No plans as of yesterday, but we're picking up where we left off. I got a date tonight with the wife. So
Oh, wow. That's really
we're
nice.
both working
Nice.
these,
See,
you know.
that's why he's dressing all
That's right.
smooth.
Looking
Look at
sharp
him.
today. Yeah.
he looks good.
This dude is a smooth dresser.
Oh yeah.
Thank you,
He-
Chuck.
He dresses like this all the
No,
time.
yeah. I mean, he's GQ.
Yeah.
Right? That's when he shows up. He
GC.
shows up. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. So let's talk a little bit. We had a nice week. Anything new, exciting happened this week in real estate for you guys? Besides, before we get into Summerlin,
Yeah.
what's happened with you this week?
What happened? Oh, man, we got a lot of contracts, a lot of buyers coming in,
All right.
especially from California.
Oh
Absolutely. California's a hot button.
yeah.
you know.
Well, they have the priced homes that are really
Yeah.
high, right? So they sell them,
Mhm.
come out here, buy a nice house, and they still got money in the bank.
Yeah, and they put a pretty big chunk down with the lower mortgage and about
Yeah.
to retire in a couple of years. It just makes sense. Numbers are
Hawaiians,
there.
Hawaiians too.
I
right?
get it.
right.
You took the words out of my mouth. I
Yeah.
was going to say, your native land. People are
Mhm.
jumping ship, and Vegas is a hot commodity.
And you know what? Don't forget about the East Coast, too, as well. A lot of people
Yeah.
from the East Coast is coming on out here.
yeah.
So let's talk. What's our topic this week? We're going to talk a lot about what's going on in the housing market. Very little financing this week. We're going to talk about Summerlin, and I want you to kind of take control of this, Chuck. Go ahead and start off. What are your let's talk about Summerlin. What's going on in Summerlin? New homes, all these
Okay,
things.
so let's start off from the beginning. Summerlin is actually owned by Howard Hughes Corporation, and they've been around since about in the early 1970s. And
Yeah.
Summerlin actually started around 1988, and they have more than about 25,000 acres at this time. Believe it or not, Howard Hughes bought this place, right? An acre. Guess for how much per acre?
I think I know that. It's like 25, 30 grand or something like that.
$3 an acre.
$3
Wow.
an acre. Well, no, I meant total.
Yeah, total. It's like
Yeah.
$75,000.
$3 an acre.
That's crazy.
What year was
This
this?
is 52, 50.
How
Yeah.
long? How long?
Early 50s.
Yeah.
Early 50s.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
here's the thing. He moved on out here because he was going to move his corporation out here, right? From California.
Mhm.
And never did.
Wow.
So he must had a vision, right?
I mean,
He had
you
a
must
few
have.
visions.
So
That's
check
crazy.
this out. So Summerlin has about 150 miles of trails,
Mhm.
has 250 parks, 26 schools, right? The first home that was built was in the community called The Hills, right? And The Hills had 394 acres. It was about 36 square miles. And the first residents moved in 1991.
I remember that too.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
Oh, born and raised Vegas boy.
Oh, yeah, that's-
know?
there
So,
you go.
Summerlin wasn't always hot as it is now, right?
Yeah.
Or was
Yeah.
it always this hot?
Well, it was a little pocket. When
Yeah.
they announced the plans, I think it was in 88,
Yeah.
89, give or
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
And then they went to town on it. Became a little pocket, and now it's practically the whole west side of town.
You know what's unbelievable? They have more than 100 residencies at this time. Believe it or not, the city of Las Vegas, their residency is about 350. North Las Vegas is about 250. But this is just a massive planned community.
Yeah.
Imagine how big that is.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
know what? They tried to become their own city, right? Or they're
They-
not.
they pretty much are.
Pretty much right.
But they still are in the Las Vegas jurisdiction.
Yes.
Is that right? So it's kind of. Do you think that that'll ever happen where they actually segregate themselves from Las Vegas?
I mean, I don't think so. And I think because the master plan community alone, it just holds its value. And that's what we're going to get in today. Why does it hold its value? What Summerlin has to offer? Because when people call in, a lot of times the first thing that a buyer says, I want to be in Summerlin.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is so hyped up about
I had a
Summerlin?
call
I don't
today.
live in Summerlin.
I was calling your people today. First thing he
You
says.
mean our people?
Well, our people, but
Yeah.
CK group. I was calling, and person on the phone said, "You know what? I'm looking for Summerlin. Is that the hot spot?" And I'm like, "Yeah. I mean, that's
what you're looking for. Yeah.
Everybody, for the most part,
Yeah.
that's where people are starting."
So what makes Summerlin, Greg?
Well, well, let me backtrack a little bit. I think a lot of folks, get misguided when they think they're like Henderson, Summerlin.
Yeah.
And I say, well, look, Henderson's a city.
Yes.
It's completely separate from Vegas. Summerlin is a master plan community within the city of Las Vegas.
Correct.
A lot of folks don't really know the difference between that.
Yeah.
So, your question was?
I lost my train of thought, but you know what? We'll move on. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What is a master plan community?
In my mind, it's amenities. It's like you said, there's 250 parks, 150 miles of jogging trails. What does the community do for the consumer?
Yeah.
If I'm paying the HOA fees, what do I get for that?
So talking about that, there's two HOAs. We have a master plan fee that you pay, right? Which is, I believe, it's $48 in Summerlin, and I think they're about to raise that. I'm not too sure. That's what I've heard.
Wow.
Now we also have a sub. Now, Greg, can you break down the master plan community versus a sub? So now you're paying two HOA fees?
Yeah, absolutely. The master plan community is going to be the community itself.
Right.
And then any subdivision within that, whether that offers, gated, maybe guard gated or otherwise, could maybe change the dynamic of the HOA fees itself.
So Summerlin itself has been around for a while now, and I don't know if I'm jumping ahead, where's this price point starting out right now?
Well,
for Summerlin, like where are we at? Like where does could you even buy it? Everybody's like, well, this is the desired place, but some people are bought out of the market in Summerlin, right?
No, I mean, you're absolutely right, because if you take a look right now, Summerlin, the price per square foot for the median price per square foot is $212 price per square foot. What do you get for that? You roughly get about 2,360 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and that's about $475,000. And we talked about this earlier today. If you actually broke that down at 5% down, if you were going to finance at 3.7%, let's just say, that's about a $2,500 payment every single month. But if we take a look at the average household income at $51,000, is that actually affordable at this time?
Right.
That's the question.
Is it feasible? Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that's probably the highest per square foot
in the valley.
In the valley. I mean, you're not going to go in other places. So where's we always talk about what's the mortgage? Where does that start?
Yeah.
So you're saying what is the price point for Summerlin? You said
the price. So the price point for Summerlin for the medium is $475. The average is $561.
Okay.
But if we take a look at the whole Las Vegas Valley in a whole, it's $310,000 for the medium and $170 a square foot. That's a pretty big jump, and that's for resale.
Yeah.
And not even including a brand new home. So if you're buying a brand new home today in Summerlin, you're going to be at least $220 a square foot. Yeah.
You guys have a lot of cash buyers that are looking. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of people that have money. It seems like now, but do they have a lot of people out there buying?
Majority of our clients are cash buyers. However, they're not taking all their money and putting it all into a home. They're putting enough to get to the comfort level as far as what monthly payment they want to be at.
Sure.
Well, also you're seeing that international money in the form of investments.
Right.
Right. Holding carries and otherwise. So it's a pretty hot market. Things are booming right now. Construction's great, and Vegas is a very desirable area.
Well, how far out are they? I don't know the streets, so I don't know if how much it's grown. Is it expanding out Summerlin? So there's obviously some opportunity for new homes. New home development is still going on over there. I know there was a lot of stuff off like Durango out there, or what is that street that seemed like when you drove down there it was just
Durango, we ain't in the Summerlin, homie.
What is that?
Durango?
What's that street that comes out? It might be Fort Apache.
You know about
Fort Apache, maybe?
Hualapai?
Hualapai.
Yeah.
Town center?
Hualapai.
Yeah,
maybe.
anything west of Hualapai will start off as Summerlin. So you
There
have
you
West Summerlin, you have South Summerlin. Summerlin actually has, I think, a total about 21 villages right now. The newest village right now is Stonebridge, and they got about 650 acres. You got, I think, a total about 8 builders out there right now. So that's the newest village that they have out there, and it's right next to Red Rock National Park. So.
Well, let's not forget about that Bonnie Springs conversion.
Oh,
with
yeah,
that
that's
developer.
Yeah.
That's right.
What's it called? The Ranch at Red Rock.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think they're building I think there was a total of 16 lots or 23. I don't remember.
20 lots.
And aren't they going for like $1 million or $3 million a lot?
3 to 6.
Oh my God.
Is that custom or is it?
Let me check.
It's
my
not
notes.
custom homes.
Oh
is it?
yeah, they're custom.
They're
homes.
custom
it's
homes.
As luxury
Okay.
as it gets. Yeah,
Look.
we're probably talking 3 to 6 for like a 2 to 4 acre lot though.
So I mean, obviously they're going to keep going.
Yeah.
I don't see any signs of them. I mean, unless they're going to bust into the mountain or something, because there's a mountain out there. At some point, they're going to hit the base of that.
Well, with the Howard Hughes Corporation, they only got about 6,000 acres left to build.
Wow.
We got a couple of callers. I want to get to at least a couple of these callers. They've been sitting online here. Can you go ahead and cue in the first caller? It's John Wayne. Mr. John Wayne. What's going on, buddy? You there, John?
Did you scare him off,
Okay.
Dan?
I guess John's hung up here, or we lost connection. Let's go to Cletus. Cletus Jones, you there? Yeah, is this Cletus? What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Yeah, I'm
Chakits
here.
is
What's going on, my man? I do appreciate that. What's your question you got for us? Okay, what do you mean by talked about segregation?
Okay. I don't know what that meant. But
Yeah, next call.
that was an odd question.
Do we have another call?
No, we don't have any more calls. So.
Okay, so where were we?
So anyways, let's go back to Summerlin. We're talking about, them kind of expanding out towards, Bonnie Springs and going that direction, and just kind of, I don't know where that stopping point's at. Obviously, they're going to run out of land, though, for Summerlin, and is it going to keep going up as far as being desired, or is there another location? I mean, is Summerlin going to be that hot topic for, years to come? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what people are looking at, but they're willing to pay the extra premium.
Well, I think so. I mean, just the way that the market is going, and just the way that, media has portrayed Summerlin. I mean, everybody just wants to move to Summerlin, but I guess the question is, what is so hot about Summerlin? I mean, the only thing that's hot is the price.
Right?
And that's not a price I'm willing to pay.
Well, I think, too, I think the average person out there that wants to buy a home, they want to feel like they have the confidence that maybe they can get a strong offer. And, I mean, I think that they're getting a premium, so probably people that are looking for any negotiation out there, are you getting people where they're willing to listen to negotiation for maybe closing costs and things like that, or is it just, you know what, you come here, looking for a new home, or you come here in an existing home, we're not going to budge. We're going to offer it. It is what it is.
No, you're absolutely right. Especially when it comes to new homes. Can you actually negotiate with new homes? Yes, you can. However, it's just depending on the tract, the development. If they're if they're moving a little bit slow, we can definitely get a discount, even on a resale value. So it's really case by case on every single property. There's just not it's not set in stone.
Yeah. Well, I think also too, you look at where. So if you looked at these new homes, right? We're talking. Let's talk about new homes. A lot of your clientele is new homes.
Yeah.
And a lot of them come to you. What are some of the things that they typically look for first or ask for when they're going and saying, well, what's going on with Summerlin? Is there certain things that they're right away looking for? They're like, hey, Chuck, I want you to take me out and look for these specific things in Summerlin because it's hot. Like, what's...
Yeah, so when I get a call, right, the clients already know what they're looking for, what they want, and they start off with Summerlin, but we really start off with education, and that's what it's really about. It's about providing the content, providing them the information that they need so that way they can make the right decision, because the last thing you want to do is buy a home in Summerlin and move in and realize 2 years down the line there are other better places than Summerlin. So that's where we start. But if their heart is set in Summerlin, you're going to pay the price, and that's what I'm seeing in today's market, where you're not going to get that much of a home, but you're buying based upon location. So the threshold for me for Summerlin, you're probably gonna have to be around the 600,000 to get more flexibility and more wiggle room as far as breathing room.
So we know the attraction. There's appeal to it.
Yeah.
It's new.
Yeah.
You got downtown Summerlin.
Well, I don't want to say it's new because it's been around for 30 years.
Yeah.
Newer communities.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Yeah.
Would you say it's newer than other cities?
I think that because they have so much land, they could just keep building,
I think
right?
that, Vegas is built from the inside out.
Yeah.
We all know that. So anything on the outskirts of town is going to be a lot newer.
Yeah.
And, there is a premium to pay with that location and that time frame.
Now, I would like to say that the heart of Summerlin would be, 215 and Charleston? Would you say that would be the heart?
That's fair.
Because that's where most of all your shopping, because I think they got, Costco,
They got everything
Smith.
over there.
They have everything.
Yeah.
And that's,
Don't forget Guitar Center.
Oh, there you go.
So there's got to be some appeal, though, and I think that's kind of what I'm insinuating.
Yeah.
Is there a better view of the strip? Is it the home style that they're building? Like, what is really?
I don't think it's the home style. I think what it is, it's the community. It's the master plan. It's what you get, right? Because what I've noticed is when you go to a community, certain communities have something to offer for you as a client. And Summerlin has hiking, right? It has all the mountain
Rock?
views. Yeah, it has
Red
Red
Rock,
Rock.
yeah.
It also has that downtown Summerlin, right?
Yeah.
And that's a nice attraction.
Of
You got the
course.
casino
It's
right
done a
there.
lot over there. It really has.
And believe this or not, because it's located on the west side of the Las Vegas Valley, it only takes about 20 minutes to get to the airport.
Is it
on the
like-
215?
Yeah, and here's the thing. Like, I went down there, so I'm gonna tell you a quick story.
Yeah.
Went down there and downtown Summerlin, first time.
Yeah.
And I walked in and I was like, let's go to the movies. I went into the movies. And
Yeah,
it was
Red
like-
Rock?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was downtown Summerlin.
Okay.
It was like
Yeah,
$20,
yeah.
$25 a person. I was like,
Are
I
you
said,
Isn't that what movies cost these days?
no, I said, is that for all three of us or is that just for me? She said, no, sir, that's just one ticket. I was like,
Hey, and that doesn't even include the popcorn and the soda.
oh, that's $25 right
Yeah.
there just for popcorn.
You're educating me. I got a 1-year-old.
I'm telling you,
you.
you go there, you're spending $100, but you know what? You can
Yeah.
get wine. You know, you can get all the
That's a good one,
amenities.
yeah.
You know, so
I'm very
I
dated
get-
with the movies, evidently. I know none of this.
just don't think you're going to downtown Summerlin and you're going to come out of there with $50. It's going
Yeah.
to be 100, 150 minimum. So we got another caller. We got Mr. Paul Cruz online. Paul, you there? Good. What's going on, Paul? How's your day going, sir?
Greg, you want to answer that question?
Paul, first off, are you local? Do you live here in town? Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Typically the way that's done is through the board. You're going to have the HOA meet, and they're going to go over the budget and all the good things that come along with it. And typically, I can't speak for your community because I don't know it, but they vote on those things. And the biggest thing to do is figure out where's that money going. What are they doing with my money that I'm paying? You're going to raise it 4 times in 7 years. What are you doing with it?
Yeah.
My question is, have you seen any change or? Yeah. Mm. The resale? Mm.
Well, eventually it will, just depending on the price, right, Greg?
Yeah. Well, you're going to encounter higher HOA fees in townhouse communities, regardless, as opposed to single family. So, yeah, no, I mean, it could definitely, we need to get some questions and answers and figure out where's that money going, and that could be the selling point. If they're doing some things with your money, then that's going to be the selling point for, maybe entry into your community.
Now, this is a good topic, and this is a good learning lesson. So if you're planning to buy a home within an HOA, the first thing you're going to do is receive the HOA resale package. You need to determine if it's 1 or 2 HOAs. So if it has a master plan, right, make sure you get 2 HOA resale package. Take a look at the rules, regulations, and the bylaws. However, most importantly, you want to take a look at what the periodic fees are and what the reserve study is. You got to check the balance. If the balance is low, that means your rates are going to go a little bit higher.
Right.
So that tells you it's probably mismanaged too as well. So, also what you can do, right, is to request to jump on the board, because you're going to have a president, a treasurer, and a secretary. And sometimes people that are on the board are not running it correctly, and they're just spending money just to spend money. Okay?
I got a trivia for you guys.
Yeah?
All right. Paul, you're still online. We're going to ask a quick trivia when we get done. Did you have another question on any of this stuff here? Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. What about Summerlin that you really like? Tell us.
The lakes community. Yeah.
Well, and I think that's what people are starting to get, is that's that feeling that you're getting. There's obviously a lot of people that are attracted to that, and so they're willing to pay that premium, and that's why we're, us. We don't live. I don't know if Greg, do you live in Summerlin?
No, I'm Southwest.
Okay, so we all don't live there, so we don't really know the attraction, and I think that's what we're trying to figure out a little bit. Obviously, Chuck deals with a lot of high-end and clients that have the ability to go and live in those areas, but for you, I mean, it makes perfect sense. I mean, I'm listening to you, and it sounds like you're really in love with Summerlin,
And this goes back to, again, when we talked about when we sit down with our clients, we show our clients all the master plan communities, because each master plan community, again, it has something to offer. Like if you went out to Cadence, it's something completely different.
Yeah.
The feeling, the vibe is completely
There's
different.
money out there in Summerlin too.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, you go to that downtown Summerlin.
Yeah.
People just have money. They have obviously good things going on out there. I mean,
You saying they're ballers out there?
they're ballers.
And we don't live there.
I think about your lifestyle.
Yeah.
What is conducive to your lifestyle? What do
Right.
you like to do? Where do you want to be?
Yeah.
It's a little bit cooler.
Paul's
couple
driving
degrees.
a Bentley.
He paying that high HOA fee.
All right, Paul. Well, listen, I appreciate you calling in, man. You can find us outside studio if you want to get a hold of us. Chuck's information, correct?
Awesome.
Paul, thanks for calling
Have
in.
a good
buddy.
one.
Yeah, trivia, real quick. We're gonna go to break here in a second.
Okay.
I got about 3 minutes. Do you guys know when the actual HOA process started, where they really started to put HOAs on properties here in Vegas? 'Cause
Ooh,
I don't know.
that's a good
That is a good
question.
one.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Are
You
we
know
looking
what?
for a year?
Yeah, like a year. Like
Okay.
where do you see that year? Maybe we can have that when we come back in
Yeah.
the next half hour.
Hey, you know what's funny? We're all gonna be on our phones googling it.
So we'll get back there. So you guys, talking about Summerlin, looking at a mortgage on that size home. You said it was what, 475?
Yeah, $475 for the median price point. But real quick, if you guys are interested in purchasing a home, visit lvhomeexperts.com. Okay, if you guys want to tune in to the show or have any questions, contact us live right now at 702-257-5396.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the mortgage part of it. We'll do a really short segment on that. We'll also talk about that trivia. We're going to talk about that in a second. We're going to be cutting a break here in a second. So let's talk about that desirable part of it. You look at Paul. He was just a caller.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel the same things
I
are
feel the same
happening?
vibe.
Yeah, I'm getting the exact same feedback from clients on a daily basis.
Yeah, I mean, and is that typically where they start? I mean, when you get them in the car, Greg, you do some calls. I do calls, right?
Right.
For me, it does happen where
Yeah.
you get a lot of people that start there and they're trying to branch out and like, I heard Summerlin's really good. I don't know if you're just marketing it or people are just know that Summerlin's a hot spot.
They just know it.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Content is out there.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing that they're going to do is probably Google what's the safest area, what's the best area, what's the highest income level area. Because that's pretty much how it's segregated. It's, based upon price per square foot. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I know. And Greg, I mean, most of your clients, would you say that a lot of your clients now, especially the ones that are out here coming from California, you say you have a lot of
A
Californians.
lot of California, yeah.
Are they there starting typically with, I mean, they probably are some other cities, but I mean, is it primarily?
The first thing I ask them is, do you know the lay of the land? How well do you know Vegas?
Right.
Summerlin, again, a lot of people think it's a city. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to introduce different areas of town that might be a better fit, but I got to figure out what's their lifestyle. What do
Yeah.
you like to do? Geographically, where would you want to be?
You're really good at that too.
Thank you.
You're
I
really
appreciate
good
it.
in the details. I mean,
Yeah.
when I talk to clients, it's funny because I feel like I don't even have to do anything with Greg refers me a client because he's already done the financing part of it.
We got to know what we're dealing with and
Yeah.
set it up for success.
I just-
He's also a lender too as well.
I just say,
Not
Haven't
yet.
graduated yet. Yeah.
Greg gets done.
Hey,
I just say,
Greg's
sign
doing
here,
your
here, and here.
applications and all that.
All right, guys. We're going to come back here. We got a next half hour coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about that trivia. We're going to talk a little bit more about Summerlin, get to know a little bit about what's going on with the mortgage payment in Summerlin. And like I said, we're going to have a lot of information regarding some of the new properties and things going on here in the Summerlin area. So we'll be right back. This is Dan French with LV Home Experts. I'm here with chakits.k. Krulsawat. He is from Simply Vegas. And his co-host here today, Greg Clutters from Simply Vegas. We'll be right back.
That was a good job, man.
How long is the break?
A couple of minutes. We got about 5 minutes, I think.
I had to turn my knob down. He told me. You hear what I said?
Hey,
Yeah.
when somebody asks us a question like that, you just cut them off. You know what I'm saying? Because as far as compliance and
Well,
stuff.
I didn't want to. Well, here's
Yeah,
the thing.
like,
Because I said segregated.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to cut him off because I thought he was telling me about segregating the area. So I thought he was confused.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it was like.
Here's the thing. It's just the words that he used. Keep in mind, guys, as a realtor, we cannot tell you what's the best places to live. Okay. That's where we come in and help you and educate you guys as far as location and take you guys out there so that way you guys have the feel. And that's what we're trying to get to here. Also, if you guys want to see or hear what the callers are saying live, all you have to do is just tune into iHeartRadio because we're streaming live right now. And it's 101.5 FM or 720 AM KDON, okay? Or, hey, if you want to ask a question, just call in studio live right now, 702-257-5396.
Is that live right there?
Yeah, this is live. Yeah, that's always going to be live, so. Did you need to tell me something?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because if that was the case, I'd have cut that shit off.
Real quick.
It's crazy how quick this fucking.
What is that?
This break is.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Dan. You're doing a good job, bro.
Very good. Yeah.
Like, you fucking crushing it, dude.
Just complimenting. I think both of you last time I heard the original.
Well, I
segment.
just had.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to tell you, I was toning it down.
No, now it's perfect. Now we're just having a fucking conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But what I'll do is I'll start trying to throw the questions back your way.
Sure.
Did you get the news on the thing with HOA?
When it started?
Yeah.
No, all I see is 25 worst HOA rules and regulations.
Here's what I was told.
Do you have the answer?
It's after. I know it's like after the year 2000 is typically if you see something. This is all I've seen because I just was doing it.
No, but that's a good point though. I just noticed that about 95% of the homes now are all HOAs.
Well,
all
you're
these
gonna
new
have
homes.
probably 70% of all of Las
Yeah.
Vegas, 70, 75, maybe even now.
But now I think it's 95% of the homes
Is
that
it
are being
really?
built. Yeah.
Oh, well,
being
yeah,
built.
yeah,
Yes.
being built, yeah.
And welcome back. This is Dan French here. I'm with LV Home Experts, the financing and real estate show. We're here every Saturday from 6 to 7 p.m. on KDWN News Talk Radio. I'm in studio with my good friend here, Chuck Krulsawat. He is from Simply Vegas. Chakits.
Chuck Krulsawat.
Chakits.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And my
That's
co-host.
and your co-host,
Rick Clutter.
Mr. GC.
GC.
GC over here.
I like that GC.
Greg Clutters, he's also part of Chuckits' team,
Yes, sir.
and they're crushing it over there at Simply Vegas, doing a good job for everybody out there looking to buy a home. And like I said, guys, I'm not going to give you too much kudos here because you guys already know you're good, but I do work with others that are real estate agents in the market, and you guys are really detailed and you're really good at what you do.
Yeah.
I hear nothing but positive feedbacks from everybody that I work with, especially even getting in the conversation of talking with them in the initial conversation. So you guys do a good job. So we're talking about Summerlin today, and we're talking about a lot of information that's out there as far as can I buy a home in Summerlin? One of the questions we had before we went to break was, when did the HOA process actually start where properties were charging HOAs? And I don't know. I don't really have the answer. Did you guys have the answer? Did you find anything out?
No, basically I Googled it, and the only thing that came up was 25 worse HOA rules and regulations.
So I'll give you guys
We're on the right track.
I'll give you guys my personal experience. That doesn't mean don't go out and quote me that this is what it is. But
Yeah.
most contracts and people that I've worked with, anything newer than 2000 and above, is obviously going to have an HOA for the most part.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, anything less than that, you could probably count yourself out of not having an HOA. Now, I'm sure there's some, maybe not as concise or it's not exact, but it is something, maybe a barometer for you to kind of look at and start with.
Well, what I can say is 95% of the homes that I do sell are all HOAs. And the question is, why is our city, right? We have nothing but HOAs.
Well, I think a lot of cities are starting to do that.
Yeah.
You know, California's starting to do that. I think there's, you know, obviously Texas is big right now with their.
That's another one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're starting to see it because, I mean, let's just be upfront.
Yeah.
A lot of people want that in some ways. Now, some don't. Let's old school, older
They don't want to be told what to do.
That's right.
But newer generations, they want least amount of work. They don't have to do anything around the houses because, you know, you got people that are HOAs coming out and doing the lawns. They want to keep that upkeep.
Yeah.
You know, there's amenities now. You know, you got things that's going on in some of these facilities that, you know, like you said, SIDS, lids, things like that. There's amenities that are coming a part of the property, and it's convenience.
Yes.
And I think that's why the HOA exists.
So let's talk about this with the HOAs. What are the pros to having an HOA?
Yeah, I was going to say pros and cons are where it's at. You know, the pros are, you know, I don't want a neighbor with 10 cars out front and 5 feet of weeds. I maintain my stuff. I don't want to look at yours. Take care of business.
Well, and that's the thing.
Plus, it's going to devalue my home.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you got an HOA, don't you, Chuck?
Yes, I do.
Okay, are they strict over there?
Well, I'm the president of my HOA.
Rules, regulations, and bylaws.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Some people don't like the HOAs because they don't like to be told what to do because they're paying for a fee. However, there are some HOAs that people can move into, and next thing you know, they hate it because they're like, oh, my grass is 3 inches, I got a letter. So you have to understand who's on the board. It's not a third-party company that's on the board. It's your board members that lives in the neighborhood. So you have to keep in mind who's on the board. Sometimes you may have somebody that's retired and that's full on gun-ho, has nothing to do.
Yeah.
Then they're going to go out and do those kind of things. But as a realtor, we don't know that until you actually move in, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, you know, let's go back to the Summerlin topic, because that's really our topic for today. Do you see higher restrictions for HOAs in Summerlin because it is a premium? There's a lot more opportunity for the SIDS and lids. Do you see a higher cost for HOAs?
Oh, I don't want to know. Here's the thing. I don't want to say higher cost, but it is $48 a month just for the master.
Yeah.
But there are some gated communities that can run you up to $300 to $400 and even more in certain
so
communities.
those price points go quite fast from entryway into which you just went over statistics, as opposed to, you know, the luxury communities that are up on the hills.
You're absolutely
You really
right.
can't compare them. They're totally different lifestyles.
Yes. Now, here's the thing. Summerlin does have SIDS and lids, which is special improvement district, and also land improvement district. So if you are purchasing a brand new home in Summerlin, you're probably going to have to pay that fee. However, when you buy a brand new home, you want to see what that balance is.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. You may be paying it annually, right? Or semi-annually. However, that balance would be paid off, and because it's a bond, it would probably be paid off in the next, 10, 20 years. But if you do pay it off early, right, because you negotiate and you have the seller to pay for it, there may be a prepayment penalty, so keep that in mind.
Let's talk about people that have usually a nest egg or some money.
Yeah.
And I want to talk to you about 55 plus communities. Because there's some of those in Summerlin.
Trilogy, there's one.
Okay.
Regency.
Yep, that's another one.
Do they have a little bit higher premium because it is 55 plus? Do you guys know that?
No, but the cost is a lot more.
Okay.
Like Toll Brothers, I think they're running almost $900,000, but it's a whole complete different lifestyle. Now, Summerlin does have age-restricted communities, a little bit older on the golf course. I think they're Sun City Summerlin or something
Sun
like that.
cities are all going to be 55 plus
Yeah.
for the most part. Yeah.
And I think that's something to consider, because I think a lot of people. Let's look at Summerlin. Summerlin is a little bit more secluded in some areas. Would you say that's true or no?
I would have to disagree. What about you,
I
Greg?
disagree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think that the commute and everything is pretty. So 55 plus would have no problem living there, and then let's say they had to get somewhere, or they had to go to the store or something.
Well, you have the
They're
freeway
obviously
right
retired.
there.
Yeah.
The 215 really zips you right around there, and plus on that side of town, obviously depending on traffic, you can zip anywhere.
And you have grocery stores like almost on every
Everything's right
corner.
there.
Yeah.
And that's Vegas living
Yeah.
in general.
Exactly.
So that's coming right from the realtors, guys. I mean, you got convenience. You have a really good community that's really thriving over there, and it's something that everybody's been kind of talking about. It's the hot topic, as we've been talking about. And so, 55 plus, definitely an open door for them. They have a lot. Would you say that 55 plus is gonna? You see people living longer.
Yeah.
Right. Is that something that's going to be a consistent thing moving forward? Where let's say if you're a year or two out, and you're somebody that's thinking, well, you know what? I know I want to live in Summerlin, I might want to do this in a year or two. Is there going to be other new communities that's going to be coming up that you guys know of for that age group?
Yes. So here's the thing. Remember how in the beginning of the show I was talking about we have about 6,000 acres left
Sure.
for the Howard Hughes Corporation.
Yep.
So there's going to be more properties that are coming in on the market. And if we take a look at the baby boomers right now, there's over 19,000 baby boomers retiring every single day, and a lot of them are retracting.
Sure.
They're selling their bigger home. Downsizing, correct. And that's the kind of clients that we're getting now, because now it's all about saving money, living comfortable, and we just want to be in a little tiny house.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I got people that come to me and they're 55 plus, and they got the nest egg, or they got money, then they've been smart. And a lot of them, if they did need a loan, it's a very small loan.
Yeah.
Majority of the time, they don't even need a loan. But
Plus, they're cashing out the larger asset that they've lived in. Kids are
Exactly.
gone. Kids are grown.
yeah, you're exactly right.
Don't want to
Greg.
clean a 4,000 square foot home anymore.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Greg.
Now,
And-
one of the questions that I always get asked when it's a retiree, right, that has about 600,000, it's should I buy the home cash or should I finance? So one of the things I do ask them is how old are you first, and how long do you think you're going to live? Because the average person right now is living to the age of 85. Now, let's just say if you're 60, right? You're probably better off getting financed, right? Because you don't want to dump $600,000 into a home. Market tanks, there goes all your nest
There it
egg.
goes.
So you might as well, just put down 20% and you just
Correct.
carry it, right?
Right.
Now, I'm not a financial advisor or CPA, but I'm just kind of showing you both sides.
It fits, though.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Does it?
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
I
So-
just made that up.
You're doing well.
Fake it till you make it. All right, we got a caller. Vivian. Are you online, Vivian? Thanks for holding for us. I'm sorry we got to you a little late. We had a topic here. Are you there? Okay. Producer's going to call him back. So going back to, let's talk about the mortgage. And I know we're not going to have a big segment on the mortgage part of it. Now, I do the financing part. And I'm just going to throw kind of a number out there. And you
Okay.
kind of brought this to my attention about what it would be the mortgage and what would be the actual cost for maybe a down payment or just an overall payment with taxes, insurance.
Okay.
And, you brought up, you put it in a mortgage calculator earlier, right?
Yes, I don't know how accurate that is because I'm not a lender, but let's just base this off of a medium price point home in Summerlin at $475,000. Remember, you get 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and it's 2,360 square foot. So how much would a payment like that actually be?
Right. So if you're looking at like 475, you're probably looking at, I would say around 3,000.
Okay. So let's take a look at this at $3,000. So now the question is it worth it to buy a home in Summerlin or is it worth it to rent a home? So if we take a look at the rental market right now, for a 2,800 square foot home, the average, right? 2,800 square feet, you're paying $3,000 a month.
Look though, some
And that's
people.
rent.
Yeah.
And that's rent, yes.
Yeah. Right. And I think that it's fine. Some people, we get the caller. Sorry, we just got a signal. Some people are fine with that 3,000
Yeah.
because they want to. Look, let's say this: you go into Summerlin, you buy a home. The chances of it appreciating is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The desire is there, and
Yeah.
you know what? How much in that Summerlin area has the appreciation? Has it gone over year over year? Do you guys have a number of like?
Last year has gone up 5% overall in the market as far as just that zip code, because it's all really broken down by zip code, so you can't really dial it in on Summerlin
Sure.
alone only. So I would say probably around 3 to 5%.
I mean, that's pretty big in a year,
No, it is.
especially if you're buying a home at what 400,000 or 500,000.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot. That's a lot of equity in one
Well,
year.
then, with that point being said,
Yeah.
then paying rent, you're paying off someone else's investment.
That's
You're never
exactly
going
right.
to get any return on that money.
Mhm.
So, sometimes it's a necessary means, though. A lot of clients come to town. They say, "What do you think I should do? Rent or buy?" And I said, "Well, how well do you know Vegas? Because the last thing I want is work with someone and they get buyer remorse.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't want that.
Absolutely.
We don't do that.
So
We
I
wanna
guess
make
what
sure
you're
they're
saying
educated.
is if you were going to buy the home for $3,000 a month, but if you're going to plan on selling 1 or 2 years, maybe now's not the time to buy.
Capital gains.
Yeah, exactly. You might as well just rent. But if you can see the appreciation and you're going to live in there for the next, 15, 20 years, then maybe you want to buy it. Just do the fact that you get tax write-offs too as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, sounds perfect. Vivian, you're back online here. Are you there? So sorry about keeping you holding, Vivian. I apologize. How are you today? Go ahead. What's your question? Okay. And are you asking, is there, what is the amount it's going to go up? Yeah, let's answer that for you as best as we can. Chuck, do you have any?
Yeah, so let me ask you this, Vivid. Is this your primary residence? Okay, so according to the county, the most that they can raise it is 3%, but it doesn't mean they're going to raise it 3% every single year.
Cap rate, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So if it's an investment property, I believe they can take this up to 8%. But you should be getting a notice every year if the property taxes are going to go up, but it shouldn't go up that high because their cap is only at 3%.
They do change every year,
Yeah.
but nothing substantial in most cases.
Yes. Now before the foreclosure, era, they
Right.
used to raise it up a lot higher than that, and that's the reason why they put that in place.
Right. Did that answer your question, Vivian? Okay. Well, we're trying.
I had to Google it real quick.
Chuck's got quick fingers. Vivian, you have a good night. Thanks for calling in. So that was a good question.
That was a good question.
Let me ask you a question on this, and I don't know, is there certain zip codes that have higher taxes per properties? Is that
Yes.
They change.
Right.
Yes.
And so is Summerlin the higher median price for taxes in Las Vegas?
No, not necessarily, because it depends on the location. Henderson has some higher areas too as well because of the price of the home. I mean, we got $10-15 million homes in Henderson. I mean, property taxes like $30,000-$40,000 a year. That's a lot. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, and you know what people don't understand is if you are those people out there that need a home that are getting a mortgage, you have to include that in your payment, right? And then but we talk about the perks of you got to pay taxes, but there is perks of owning a home. Just like you were talking about, Greg, you said that you have to have here's what I say: if you're gonna pay rent,
Yes.
or you're going to pay a mortgage, I would always say try to pay yourself forward, right? Get a mortgage if it makes sense, right? So that's what I would look at is, let's look at that process of what is the total payment, and also do you get some type of return on buying a home versus renting? Right, Greg? I mean, there's write-offs and things that
There's a lot of write-offs. Yeah, there's a lot of benefits of being a homeowner all the way around.
Yeah.
You're spending a lot of money, and you want to be happy at the end of the day.
So Chuck, you talked about a lot about price point and is there people out there? Is there $1 million homes that's out there in Summerlin? I'm sure there is, right?
Oh my gosh, galore.
Right, and
So some of these homes, man, they are so beautiful.
So is it like that? Those reality shows when you get out there and you see these homes, like a lot of them are custom, right?
Yeah.
You got some. I mean, it can start all the way from $475. Where does that cap out for people?
Well, I've seen homes up to $15 million. However, what I'm starting to see up in Summerlin, a lot of buyers now, they're buying around the $1 million range. But I've noticed a lot of these $1 million homes are track homes now.
That's
They're
crazy,
not like
yeah.
true like custom homes.
Oh, really?
I can't believe it. $1 million. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love that mid-century modern look, but man, $1 million. How much a payment?
$1 million track home.
$1 million track home.
Wow. Would you got if you go back 20 years?
Yeah.
I mean, we're all kind of old here now.
I ain't old.
Speak for yourself.
We've all seen that change, and I'll tell
Yeah.
you, to have a track home, you would think a $1 million home 10 years ago was like, man, you're rich.
Ballin'
You're
status.
balling. You know what I mean? Like if you got a $1 million home, that means you're making $3 million, right? I mean, you got to make 1/3 of that. Even if you needed a mortgage or something, you got to have some capital, and so that's crazy that they're making track homes. So where is that custom home where let's say it's kind of separating itself from those track homes? Where does that price?
So here's the thing. You can buy a home around the 500 and just a little bit below, and still build a custom home if you're going that route. It's just about how do you know how to customize your home based upon your budget. There's certain things that you just need to do as far as like lighting, installation, right? Depending on the floor plan too as well. A lot of people will go into new homes and just throw all their money into the cosmetics. That's the worst thing that you can do, because when it comes to a true custom home, the thing that you're really looking at is the architectural design and also what you get with the build, the quality of the build. And lighting is one of the main important things on a custom home, right? Is the electrical. It's about having a smart home, and that's where a lot of people fall off on as well.
So we talked about the high spectrum of Summerlin. Let's go to the low spectrum. And Greg, I don't know if you've worked with people with condos, and is there a price point anywhere from that sweet spot of 300 to 400,000?
You know, I really haven't entered into that as of recent. It's been a few years, you know, with that not lower end, but lower price points for Summerlin itself. I can't say that I've done a townhouse or even a condo in there probably
No.
a couple years, so I really couldn't answer that.
So is there really a market for people that are
There
at that?
is.
There is?
There
Okay,
is,
so there's still
absolutely.
homes there.
Absolutely.
Okay, what is that type of, is that like an entry level type
I
house?
wouldn't say a entry level because I've done a couple townhomes. I forget the name of the community, but it's off there off of 215 and Charleston. Did a couple deals. I think the condos are going for $475, and the HOAs, man, they're about like
Well,
$400.
that's the thing. When you're going to get the lower,
$400.
and I'm sorry to
Yeah,
talk
no,
over
it's
you
good.
there, but yeah, you know, when you're getting the lower end entryway to the community, you're still going to offset those costs with the HOA fees
Yeah,
because those townhouses and condo communities are.
That's a good point that
They
you
are.
make.
They're going to offset and kind of balance them out.
yeah.
So-
I think that's good because what we're trying to say is, well, you got all different types out there.
Yeah.
And we don't want to push out the people that are approved for say that 200,000 to 500,000.
Yeah.
You know, we want to still make sure that if you really like that area, I mean, there's other areas, but Summerlin does have an opportunity for you to buy there.
Now, if you guys are interested in purchasing a home and want to get started, visit lvhomeexperts.com. That's again, lvhomeexperts.com.
That's where all the magic happens.
That's right.
So let's talk a little bit about, you know, we talked about Summerlin. I want to talk about what you guys do as a team. And I want to kind of hit on this because I brought up in the beginning of the show how great your team is and how detailed you are. Chuck, you really put together a nice team. You got a nice, you know, Greg's really good at what he does. What really separates, I'm going to ask you both. Greg, I feel like details for you first.
Yeah.
Is
Details
really,
are very important.
yeah, and I mean, you're really on it. And I'll tell you, there's nothing but good reviews that I've seen. You know, I'm not.
Dude, Greg knows his stuff, man.
Greg knows his stuff. And, you know, he's a direct descendant of what you're trying to do. He's somebody that reflects you.
All right, vice versa on that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just kind of like you guys really work together. So I think there's a dynamic thing going on, and I just kind of want to get your take. Greg, tell us a little bit about, you know, how you got into business and what you do.
Yeah. You know, I've been doing this since my entry was in late 2007, I think, right around there. And I
With
was
a market crash?
Yeah, I got in at the best time ever. Yeah. And,
That's what I did.
Well, you know, I ended up
Everybody
working,
did.
I was working administration, you know, kind of
Okay.
entryway. I knew nothing. You know, I was
Right.
a, you know, native Vegas boy.
Yeah.
Right.
And worked in the casino service industry for a long time. You know, make decent money, but
Yeah.
I just wasn't happy.
Right.
So I had a friend offer me a job that I declined.
Okay.
Then he offered it again. I declined it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then my wife said, "You better do it.
Yeah.
Take a chance, jump off the cliff." So I did it, and you know, I started in the REO market, and I was working for a very relevant broker within the REO market.
Sure.
Closing a lot of deals. They got a max. We're closing 181 a month, which was insane.
That's a
I
lot.
mean, the assets were just pouring
That's
in.
a lot.
Hey,
Yeah.
whoever had that account was
Oh,
balling, bro.
Killing it. They were killing
And
it.
then you never saw them either.
Yeah, exactly.
They were gone.
They had like 10 assistants. You can contact my assistant, my assistant, my assistant.
That was me.
Okay.
But no, then we entered into the short sale market, and I started mitigating short sales, and I was closing about 55 a month at its peak.
Oh, that's baller
Wow.
status.
And then I got into auctions. I sat at the auction for about 3 years, flipping
Mm-hmm.
homes, had a hedge fund I was working with, and
Wow.
rain, sleet, or snow, I was out there every single day, freezing, sweating, you name it. So kind of took me into, why are these guys making all the money? So I started flipping houses myself.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
wow.
that was a challenge, you know, with just me and my big brother and I.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, that market kind of went bye-bye,
Mm-hmm.
and I got into the, you know, the agent sales side.
That's what's great about real estate. Like, as long as you understand what's going on with the marketplace, you can always pivot, shift, and always adapt.
Mhm.
And you can make money on every single
Market
angle.
shift, you know, arguably every 10
Yeah.
years.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh,
so
yeah.
got to keep a feather in the cap for every rainy day.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember when there was 18,000 REOs. Matter of fact, believe it or not, I'm doing one right now that I'm submitting with Fannie Mae. I haven't done one for so long. I'm looking at the contract like, oh my God, I forgot how to do this.
Yeah.
So I literally had to start back to step A and kind of go through each line item and figure it out like, okay, now I remember how this all works.
That's when everybody was a real estate agent that was at that
Yeah, yeah.
time. They'd be like, "Who's the asset manager? Okay, we're gonna take them out and schmooze them."
God,
You know?
that doesn't work anymore.
They'd be like, "Who's that
It's
guy?"
up
And
to you to mess it up.
it was basically it was really somebody out there that was just a concierge
Yeah.
of, hey, we're going to take care of you, and guess what, you took care of me, we know each other, it's a good you know, feeling with each other, we're going to give you, how many assets was, like, I think somebody was holding like 300 assets at once, right?
I don't even remember.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like property after property. It was just, I don't know, it was just a crazy time. So you came into the market
Yeah.
really during that time.
I
and-
came in, you know, just jumped right off the cliff. You know, it was a terrible time in the market. Everyone was losing their homes.
Yeah.
You know, I gained a wealth of knowledge from it.
Yeah. So, you know, Greg, like I said, I can vouch for Greg. I've done deals with Greg. He's really good at what he does. Chuck's got a good team over there. You know, Greg's really solid, and he's really gonna, you know, hold up to everybody out here as far as, you know, real estate. He's got his history behind him. You know, you got a long tenure.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
and so you're really reputable. So Chuck, you know, what do we got? You know, what's going on this next week, and how can people get a hold? Throw that out one more time.
So if you guys are interested in purchasing a home, if you're looking for a bank-owned short sale, brand new home, traditional sales, visit lvhomeexperts.com. If you have any questions regarding financing, visit lvhomeexperts.com. There's a drop box regarding financing. You can directly contact Dan from there. But let me ask you this: at $475,000 with Summerlin, if somebody wants to get started, how do we get started on the financing really quickly?
Well, you can go to my website, but I mean, I prefer going and at least seeing if something's out there at LV Home Experts. And then if you see something that you like, you obviously got good people. And I'll tell you what, these guys answer their phone. They're not like other real estate agents. They do answer their phone. So I tell you, Chuck, if you call Chuck or you call Greg, they're going to answer their phone. And then I think the process can start there because they're going to refer back to me if it seems right. I told you, you know, Greg's really good on, and so are you, Chuck, about just getting the idea of if somebody needs help,
Because
what help is needed.
Yeah, because each consumer, you have to kind of structure their loan and get them in the right situation, because you don't want to make that mistake, because a lot of people think, hey, I'll just fix my credit. But hey, by paying off all your credit cards could actually hurt you too, right?
Yeah, I mean, it could, because, well, you don't want to pay them off, but you want to pay them down.
Yes.
And sometimes it's not good to do that. You know, you want to have that strategic team around everybody that tells them, hey, there's a simulator I have that can tell you what to do and not to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really, all these things are governed. We got another call that just called in right here. We got about 3 minutes, so we're going to take this last call. Marcus, thanks for calling in. How are you, sir? Good, good. What's your question, and how are you doing today? Wonderful, wonderful. I really appreciate you calling. What's going on?
Thank you. Appreciate that. Well, the reason why is because there's a lot of development taking place, and I think they have I think 20,000 acres. I think they're building out there. And
I don't know the approximate.
there's a lot of there's a lot of new things that are taking place, and if you go out there right now, there's just a lot of growth taking place. It's unbelievable. I mean, you got nothing but construction. You got, you know, the 15 right there, and you have the main road, St. Rose, and a lot of people from California is moving on out there on that little side. Not only that, it's more of an urban type of living. So what I'm starting to see is a lot of families really flocking to that area, and that's like another place where if it's not Summerlin, it's actually Inspirada. Hey, not a problem. Thanks for the call. You have a blessed day, okay?
Man, you're popular.
I don't know about that, man. I'm just working. It's called work.
Well, I'll tell you, everybody said the same thing, man. Keep that work up. So you're doing a good job. So, you know, we try to put out the content here at this show. It's a financing and real estate show. And we put out a lot of information on Summerlin. If you guys want more information on Summerlin, Chuck's giving you the information on where to go find that. He's giving you his website. So any last things about Summerlin, guys?
Yeah, if you guys want more information on Summerlin, again, visit lvhomeexperts.com. It's a good place to start. And also I have a full brochure on Summerlin. So, you know, feel free to send us an email. Contact us at lvhomeexperts.com.
This is Dan French. We're here at LV Home Experts Show, financing and real estate. I'm in studio with chakits, Krulsawat, Simply Vegas, and Greg Clutters from Simply Vegas. We will talk to you next Saturday, every Saturday, from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KDW and News Talk Radio.
Good job, guys.
All right.
That was actually real good. All right, guys, let me know what your thoughts are about this show. Comment below.
Good job, Greg.
Okay. Other than that, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Chakits Krulsawat with Simply Vegas.